Whoa! What the heck? Have you been there the whole time? Golly, can you at least knock first? Jeez. What? No, I was not listening to Soda Pop by the Soulja Boys. That is crazy to say. I mean, it's not like it's a really good, catchy song, right? I mean, a little annoying, but stupid catchy. Look, can we just start the video? K-pop. You've seen it, you've heard it, you either love it or you hate it. But you cannot deny the fact that it has had one of the most influential impacts, not only in South Korea, but also internationally as well. You have fans, subgroups, niches all spread throughout the world and internet, and these are die-hard fans too. They are not to be messed around with. So when Netflix released a movie about a K-pop girl group fighting against a boy band that was secretly demons, it piqued the interest of many, for better or for worse. I mean, what can someone expect from a movie that revolves entirely around a group of Korean singers that fight demons? Well, a lot actually. Let me start off by saying that I love this movie. I mean, it is nearly perfect from start to finish. And would I consider myself to be a K-pop fan? I've dabbled in some songs here and there. I mean, I was a fan of 2NE1 back in middle school after all. Right after they disbanded. Anyways, as I was saying before, this movie is amazing in so many ways. Its characters, its voice acting, and of course the most obvious, the animation and music. So let's get right into why this movie works so well and how it's exceeded expectations. You know, oddly enough, this movie was not promoted as much in the beginning as it is now. Either that or I just wasn't paying attention. I mean, the way I found out about this movie was through doom scrolling on Twitter. And even then, I thought this was a show, so imagine my astonishment when I saw this was only an hour and 36-minute film. I was so ready to binge watch another season of a new show, but honestly, after watching it, a film was the best route. Kinda, but I'll expand on that later. The story itself is rather simple. For generations, a group of female artists have kept the Hunmoon, a protective barrier, maintained in order to keep demons from entering the normal world and feeding on souls. Rumi, however, is half demon herself, who believes that permanently closing the realms will free her from her heritage, a part of herself that she does not want to be associated with because of the stigma against demons. We also have Mira, the edgy punk, and Zoe, the quirky goofball, who's my favorite by the way. I mean, just look at her. She's awesome. Unfortunately for the trio though, a group of demons decide that the only way to win is to beat them at their own game. So they become a K-pop band themselves. And so begins a battle on who can win the public's love the most. And golly, look at this animation! The main selling point that grabbed my attention about this movie was the animation. I love art, I love various forms of art, and I like K-pop too, so it's a win-win. And I really wanted to watch this movie because it looked gorgeous in trailers and clips posted online, yet I was a bit skeptical that the animation may have been trying too hard to be funny, mainly due to this particular clip here, and this one here. And a lot of people were talking about this online, and look, not that there's anything wrong with over-the-top expressive animation, I was just worried it was going to be a little too obnoxious. But no, it was pleasant, visualized well, and placed appropriately in situations needed. This movie was animated by Sony Animation after all, the same studio that brought you the Spider-Verse films. So it's no surprise that the animation feels similar. I saw some complaints online where people were worried that Sony is already milking this style dry, but honestly, I don't think that should be an issue. It seems that the people who work behind these types of films really care about the product that they release. And yes, the Spider-Verse films and K-pop Demon Hunters visually look similar, but they're so wildly different. You can feel how different they are when you actually watch them. You can tell that the animators put their own vision and ideas in scenes that separate both films. Spider-Verse has that comic book atmosphere to it that makes every scene feel like a page out of a book coming to life, while Demon Hunters have a more refined and clean style that feels like you're in a Vogue gallery. Even Mitchell vs. the Machines feels different. Also created by the same studio, by the way. The animation is just top tier, and every frame, every scene, every motion is amazing. Everything feels so lively and expressive, nothing ever feels dull, and of course the action is jam-packed with great choreography. The colors are vivid and the backgrounds are given so much detail. Oh yeah, the detail! Some of the little things like the girls' faces when they don't have makeup are given so much attention that just makes you appreciate the work behind it. And the character designs are so over the top for the Soulja Boys, it actually works. Their demon selves, despite being dark and dismal, are still given such vivid colors of red and purple, so having their alternate selves be a vomit of colors works, showing the contrast of their worlds. And you can't have a K-pop movie without the pop! The songs in this movie are so good, they dominated the charts, with Golden being the most listened to from the soundtrack, and it was my personal favorite. So much so that I would blast this everywhere I went. Played it 24/7, going on drives, going on runs, going on errands, you name it. Hell, it basically became the soundtrack to my life, and I still bump it to this day. It's a good fucking song. Sue me. I just love this song so much. It's so freaking good. It does a great job as working as the exposition, telling us who these girls are, their goals, their dreams, their fears, and how they've overcome it. Especially Rumi, who's, half demon. And that high note, oh my goodness, I don't even know how that's humanly possible. I've tried attempting that high note and it's not pretty. And that's not the only song that's good. They're all good. All the other songs are super good. Takedown has a very aggressive beat to it that just makes it perfect for the gym. And Your Idol by the Soulja Boys is an amazing villain song that just shows the full extent of their power and evilness. The only one I couldn't really get into, and I still think it's good, I just don't like it as much as the others, is Soda Pop. It just gives me corporate commercial vibes, which works well with what the Soulja Boys are meant to represent. They're advertising themselves to the audience to garner their love, and on the surface, they are a lovable boy band that can do no wrong. But in reality, they're just a product of the hatred spawned by Gima, leading the poor souls to their doom. Also, this movie is not lying. This song is stupid catchy, and that little whistle in the back just tickles my brain every time. This movie does such a great job at utilizing and integrating music so well into the film by giving purpose to the songs. This isn't some musical sing-along, it's a movie about how music connects with the souls. Hunters use their voices to harmonize against the hatred that the demons carry. The Soulja Boys use their singing to manipulate the soul into a false sense of comfort and vanity. I mean, there's a reason why demons yearn for human souls, and that's because humans can still feel the humanity that flows through music. Let's not forget that these demons were once human too, as shown through Jinu's past. So it's no surprise that they're so determined to feed on human souls just to feel what little humanity they can. It probably brings them to a time before they were corrupted. Music has always been a great part of culture. We make music for various reasons, to tell a story, to set a mood, to invoke an emotion. We dedicate songs to people. We create songs in regards to movements. Music is a way for people from different places, different ages, and different backgrounds to come together and feel something. It connects people together. This feeling is what enriches the soul and what probably makes souls so desirable to Gima. However, it's something that Gima doesn't seem to understand. Even when seeing the success of the Soulja Boys, he doesn't connect to it because he isn't listening to the music. He only focuses on the souls he wants to devour. And it's just never going to satisfy his insatiable appetite. Giving music a purpose that affects the story just elevates the movie to a higher degree, as every song has a message and never feels out of place. It also tells us where our characters are at mentally, reflecting the stability of the Hanmoon. It's also interesting to see how both Zoe and Mira were able to find solace between each other when Zoe was struggling to juggle different parts of herself, while Mira was the outcast in her family for not conforming to the norm, yet Rumi never confided in them about her inner demons. Like that? Oh, whatever. Even things as small as not joining the girls to the bathhouse showed how Rumi felt that isolation was the best way of life for her until she cured herself from her demon patterns. But the doctor said it best. In order to treat a part, you have to understand the whole. This is Holistic Medicine 101. Every person is different and must be approached differently. Understanding a person physically, mentally, emotionally, and sometimes spiritually can reveal a lot about a person's struggles. Sometimes it's not just one thing that causes all the issues, but rather an accumulation of problems that hurt the person. Rumi had so many problems bearing on her shoulders that, it's no surprise that she was going to snap. She wanted to live up to previous hunters' expectations, follow Celine's orders, be a leader to her friends, keep her fans happy and safe, make the Hanmoon golden, and release herself from her patterns. I mean, all of these responsibilities have taken a toll on her, and no amount of tonics was ever going to fix that. Everyone in this movie has an issue in focusing on one aspect of their lives. Rumi has her patterns, Jinu has his past, the girls have the demons, even Bobby hyper-focuses on social media numbers. Hell, even Gima has issues. I mean, duh, like I said before, he never strays away from his goal to feed on human souls, hindering himself from listening and understanding the music. When you let one part of yourself take over your entire life, you end up leaving out the rest of you that should be given attention. As Rumi says, maybe listen to those voices instead of the ones in your head. Rumi and Jinu have an amazing dynamic where they both learn from each other and ultimately help each other escape their tunnel vision and expand their perspective, freeing them from their insecurities. No one can do these things alone. Zoe and Mira needed Rumi, and Rumi and Jinu needed each other to get over the walls that were trapping them. Our faults and fears must never be seen. is a quote that is emphasized time and time again throughout this movie. But it's those same faults and fears that help people grow and learn. The more you try to run away from it, the stronger those fears become. And look, everybody has fears. Everybody has a past that they're not proud of. People carry shame. But it doesn't have to define who you are. And most importantly, you don't have to face it alone. And Rumi finally realizes that once she accepts that being born the way you are doesn't reflect who you grow up to be. And the girls have one final standoff against Gema and the demons where Jinoo sacrifices himself. What? He doesn't actually die, right? They wouldn't do this? Nah, he's fine, right? Let's just move on. Anyways, Jinoo exclaims that his soul was set free and gives it to Rumi, demonstrating how people can be interconnected through music. Although Jinoo may be gone, who knows, possibly, nothing's confirmed, his essence, his soul, lives with the memories and moments these two shared in the song they sang. Anyways, the girls finally complete the honeymoon, but instead of it being golden, it has this rainbow look to it that symbolizes their acceptance and newfound diverse perspective. Rumi is no longer ashamed of her patterns as she displays them for the world to see, and the girls become connected like never before. The tiger and the bird are still present too, and whether or not they're classified as demons or spirits, I'm not certain, but the fact that Rumi maintains her patterns more than likely illustrates that the new honeymoon they created is one that understands that not all demons are evil, and that change is more than possible. Also, is Jinoo really dead? There's no way! Man. Despite how great this movie is, there is one issue I have with it, and it's the supporting cast. This movie's central characters are Rumi and Jinoo, and much of what happens around them. Not a lot of time are given to Mira and Zoe apart from the exposition and the reading the doctor does on them. As fun as they are to watch, their characters aren't nearly as fleshed out as the other two. Same goes for Celine, who at first watch, I barely paid any attention to her. She's supposed to play the role as the guiding mentor of the group, but she fails in that regard as she pushes Rumi away from accepting who she really is. I understand that's kind of her role, but, she didn't even accept who Rumi was and instead tried to fix her rather than help her, and pretty much disappears after that. But there is only so much you can do in the movie. And there are talks about a second movie in development, so hopefully we get more character development from them. But yeah, at the end, this movie really just becomes heavily centered around Rumi and Jinoo's relationship and dynamic with everyone else being a byproduct of the effects. Also, did all these people just die? Because if so, that's actually a little nutty. Like this poor girl, bro. She really just got a one-way ticket to Gema's belly. But those really are just nitpicks and don't ruin my overall enjoyment of the film. K-pop Demon Hunters has made an impact not only in the K-pop community, but the animation world as well. It manages to tell a profound story about acceptance and perseverance while also showcasing why animation is a genuine form of art, one that should not be overlooked due to the misconception that animation is just meant for kids. Also, I remember when kids would bully others just because they listened to K-pop and they thought they were weird. I was fortunate enough to have a friend at the time recommend me some K-pop songs and I genuinely enjoyed it. Heck, I still listen to K-pop songs to this day. There are so many good groups to listen out there like Twice and Ivy? I'm sorry, I've searched up various videos and I still can't seem to figure out the pronunciation. But yeah, the shit they put out, fire. Rebel Heart, amazing. It's nice to see how accepting people are nowadays of others listening to whatever they want. Yeah, the fandoms can be a little over the top and frankly a little crazy, but most people just want something to enjoy that they can share with others. Connecting souls through the power of music. And K-pop Demon Hunters does a great job at that. Golly, am I late to the party. Jeez, this video took me a while for me to put out, huh? I am so sorry. I hope it was worth it. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Next video will for sure be in the Halloween spirit, so it's gonna be a little spooky. And I will definitely have it out before Thanksgiving. And again, like always, thank you for watching.